Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. A lot of people are saying that Tyson Fury is finished at world level. I keep reading this, apart from obviously his fanboys who, doesn't matter what he does, they'll always sing his praises because they're thicker than concrete and dumber than dog shit. But I definitely would not agree that Fury is a shot fighter. Definitely not. Because when you consider his performances against Usyk, and Usyk, I think, has without question proved that he is the best heavyweight of his generation. He's only had 7 heavyweight fights, but look at the opposition. He holds a win over the IBF champ, Daniel Dubois, a knockout win where he made him quit. He's twice clearly beaten Fury, and he's twice clearly beaten Joshua, and he's dethroned Chisora into the mix as well. He beat him as well, just for good measure. Chisora, of course, even at his age, with all those miles on the clock, he's won his last couple of fights. So Usyk's the best. And I think Usyk was always more talented than Tyson Fury, even though Tyson Fury himself was a very, very talented heavyweight. And is he on the downside of his career? Yes, I think he's past his best, probably a fair few steps past his best. But does that mean he's a shot fighter? No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because when you look down the rankings, how many top 10 heavyweights, top 15 heavyweights would you pick to beat Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury is still a very big man, and he's still got some talent. And he gave Usyk 2 competitive fights, even though he clearly lost them. Okay, you could say, well, he's 4 or 5 stone bigger in natural weight. He's half a foot taller. He's got massively long arms and so on. But Usyk is so talented and so crafty, and he has got such a high ring IQ. I thought Fury fought better in the second fight against Usyk, although Usyk himself fought better, I think, as well. They both raised their game, which was great. And there's no shame in twice losing to Oleksandr Usyk. So whatever you think about Fury as a human being, and I've never met him, but I think his behaviour outside of the ring and the lies and the gaslighting is too much for me. But if that's your thing, fill your boots, but count me out. But inside the ring, he remains a threat, an absolute threat, if he wants to carry on. And he said before the second Usyk fight he does. So if you look at the, let's go through a few of the opponents, how you think Fury, the current Fury, would do against them. So if you look at the IBF rankings, 1 and 2 are vacant. I never know how they work that. How are 1 and 2 vacant? I don't know. But at number 3, we got Martin Bakole, who himself is coming off an excellent win over Jared Anderson. Much ducked, seemingly, by lots of people. But is he fighting Ajit Kabayel next? Bakole against Fury. Tough fight for Fury, but I would not rule out Fury to defeat Bakole, to outpoint him. Don't forget, Bakole does have that stoppage defeat. I know he was injured, but he almost quit in that fight against Michael Hunter. Many years ago, of course. Bakole, you can say, has improved. He's a huge man. But as we know from recent events, size isn't everything. And punching power isn't everything. If you've got a complete game, if you've got the skills, styles make fights and so on, then I think Fury can give Bakole plenty to handle. And I might even pick him. And I probably would pick him over Bakole, even the current Fury. Or shall we say the Fury that fought Usyk in the second fight. Frank Sanchez is at 4 with the IBF. Sanchez, he had that knee injury, didn't he, when he got stopped by Kabayel. Sanchez against Fury, style-wise. Sanchez is very much a boxer. Pick him, 50-50 maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I'm talking about Sanchez obviously being fit, fighting fit now. What about Kabayel himself, who we mentioned a moment ago? Kabayel against Fury, that would be really interesting. I like Kabayel a lot. He's shown an awful lot. And it wouldn't remotely surprise me. Is it Bakole he's fighting? Because if so, it wouldn't surprise me if he beats Bakole. I might even pick him over Bakole. Then we got Joshua, who we know about. Joshua and Fury, that's probably going to happen at some point. Filip Hrgović, very strange career Filip Hrgović has had. I don't know what's happening with him. It never really took off, did it? Against Dubois, before the Dubois fight, he was so completely arrogant or he was so completely disinterested. It was really weird. He didn't even bother having his hair cut for that fight. And we know he got beaten up. But I'll tell you something. the best heavyweight chin out there, except possibly for Usyk. Well, no, Filip Hrgović has got a steel jaw. He took full-blooded shots from Zhang and from Dubois, full-blooded shots from real heavy hitters, and he didn't go anywhere. He didn't go anywhere. He's a very, very tough man, and if he puts it together, I know his father passed away and that affected his life and certainly his boxing career greatly, but if he decides he wants to really dedicate himself or rededicate himself, he could be a real threat. Hrgović, an on-form Hrgović against Fury, again, difficult to predict, but I wouldn't rule Fury out against Hrgović at all. Then we've got others. I mean, F.A. Ajagba, for example, is a big unit, very big unit, hits very, very hard, doesn't have the slickest skills, is a bit slow, but I think I've seen improvements in him over his last few fights, but I don't think he fights enough. I really don't. I think, did he leave PBC and he went to Top Rank, didn't he? I'd like to see him more active, but because he's a big guy with power, and it's not that his skills are bad, it's just that he's a bit slow and a little bit cumbersome. But a decent fighter, has lost once to Frank Sanchez. Was he flawed in that fight? I think he might have been flawed as well. I can't remember offhand. For some reason, I'm thinking he was flawed, but Zhilei Zhang against Fury. I think that's a tough fight. Again, styles make fights. Zhang, good chin, very, very questionable gas tank, and he's older than Fury. I mean, he's 41 this year or something. I'd probably pick Fury to beat him if he can stay away from the heavy punches. Then you've got Bakadir Jalilov. Jalilov, yeah, why not? Why not? Would you pick against Fury against Jalilov? I don't know whether I would. I mean, more locally, more domestic rivalry. I mean, you've got Fabio Wardley, who's currently doing very well. I'd pick Fury to beat Wardley. Come on, man. I mean, I'm talking about the current Fury. Do you know what I mean? I'll tell you if Fury wanted a comeback fight, he doesn't. He'll only get out of bed for the big paydays and the big names. But one sleeper in the heavyweight division is Guido Vianello, who is coming off a win over Makhmudov, isn't it? The big, terrifying looking guy who got battered by Caballel. He got stopped by Vianello. I think Vianello's got more ability than people are giving him credit for. Then you've got sort of wild cards like Daniel Pero, Jarrell Miller still floating around. Fury versus Miller. Be a tough fight for Fury. I think Fury would probably win on points, but so. You know what I'm getting at here, right? I'm belabouring the point, but you know what I mean, right? I think Fury has quite a bit left if he wants it, and all this yo-yoing with the weight and up and down and all this crap, the lifestyle he leads and so on. Yes, it's taken years off his career probably, or years off his prime anyway. But when I looked at him in the second fight with admittedly the smaller but nevertheless more talented Usyk, I didn't see a shot fighter. I did not see a shot fighter. And it's rather telling that punches to the chin, the jaw and the head, yes, it's going to be difficult for Usyk, a much smaller man, to hit Fury flush on the jaw. But it's going to be tough for anyone because Fury's so much bigger than everyone. You've got to get inside. But Fury was able to defend himself relatively well in that fight, relatively well. The problem for Fury in that second Usyk fight for me was his conditioning. He didn't look like he believed he could do 3 full minutes every round for 12 rounds. Against people less talented than Usyk, he probably wouldn't have to. He could still win. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. How far over the hill do you think? Let's say that at the height of his powers, Fury was 100%. What percentage of that ability do you think he's got left? Because I would say he's probably got 75% left. But let me know what you think. Give me your opinion and give me some reasons why you think the way you do. Thanks as always for your time. Thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button. Support the channel. Much love to all of you. Thank you very much indeed. And bye for now.